Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. And I am not Stephen Fry, and this is most definitely not QI. But did you know there's a free series of it available on Netflix? Because I do. How is everyone this evening? Yes, woo Thunderbolt, Alex. I thought we would try a slightly different camera angle to start us off with a nice view of the picture that I have as my reference shot for the loco. I hope everyone is well this evening. Welcome to the workbench. That should have that out my way. So we have here one loco and one tender. As I'm sure we all remember. And as several people, you know, I was asked quite a few times, am I going to be doing the decoration on the chimney? I decided painting that on there was not going to be easy no matter what I did. So I painted it on some transfer paper instead, so we have a water slide transfer to wrap around the chimney. Almost cheating, but I think it's good enough that we should allow it personally. So, you know, first thing tonight is to get the Thunderbolt finished, which means lots of masking tape again. Because we've got a lot of bits to paint gold. Cool. Cool, Max. See, I can't take this off without taking the chassis off, so we just have to live with that for now. And good news from last week. We obviously had issues with the masking tape. New knife blades, nice and sharp. It doesn't need to focus, and I definitely didn't order the wrong size and have to wrap masking tape around the blades to get them to hold in my knife. That's not a thing that happened. So yeah, just so you're aware, that definitely did not happen. Yes, good idea, Alex. Everyone, get that like button smashed to oblivion. What a fabulous idea. So, there's an end to this tape somewhere. There it is. This gold leaf can be a right pain to work with. So I want to get it done first, because it does go off reasonably quickly. So hopefully if anything messes up on it, we can get some touch-ups in this evening. See, and that's how easy masking tape should cut. But yes, my knife blade had got a little blunt. It should have been replaced a while ago, but I didn't have any. And it also gives us a nice clean edge, unlike the last blade, which was slightly tearing it. LB&SCR model in, one in the bid, $45. There were 3 other people trying to win it. USA backman LB&SCR 040 slope back tender switcher. Oh, very nice, Max. I think I actually know what model you're on about, because I do believe I have seen it. Excellent. Very nice little model. Yes. So much easier with a decent blade. So I noticed my viewer count isn't working properly on screen today either. That's Streamlabs' fault. They disabled all their stuff in the app for security reasons, and I had to re-enable everything. So I'm guessing something's gone wrong with that. Oh no, these are going to be too wide. That's a pain. This is ever so slightly too wide to fit between the boiler bands. So how is everyone this evening? I hope we are well. Have we got any projects we are working on at the moment? Hope you're taking a break, Killian, after finishing Jenny. Linny has already sent me a screenshot. It looks absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so you can just see here, if it focuses, this boiler band is just underneath the tape, so I'm going to have to run the knife along the edge there. That's rather annoying. Not in a minute. TSG loaded this on the original manufacturer, back got hold of it. Just like it with the decoder, I have that program. Lots of hammering and drilling this evening. For the first time, not playing TS. Car! Nice change, Alex. Taking a break, back to work tomorrow. Good idea, Killian. As I say, Jenny looks lovely. You deserve a break. There we go. And the boiler band is free. Just going to wrap that over so that I've got a little bit more down the bottom on this side. Oh no. Trying to rip it, it came off instead. There we go, much better. Killian's Jenny Lind will making a guest appearance on O'Kill on some point. Be making more than a guest appearance, James. Jenny will most definitely be here at some point in the future. There is no doubt about that one. I'm very much looking forward to having a Jenny Lind. It is a type I have always wanted. Very nice, thank you. So you got the paint on the smokestack figurette out. Yes! I have made a transfer for it, which is, it's on water slide transfer paper, and I have painted it using the same paints as on the logo, so the colours should match absolutely perfect. And if they don't, it's someone else's fault. I shall look forward to that. It was pre-Craven design. It was very pre-Craven, yes. Linny is sort of making. Yes, I spoke to Linny about making some carriages for it. I do have a wish list of carriages of that era that I want, so I will be forwarding that to Linny at some point. Just need to dig it out myself first. It's for very successful types in time. Yes. 1840 in the nice green livery there. They're earlier great single smaller drivers, were they not? Possibly. But I you know, I look at that and I think, you know, I've got my 1870s ish diorama of the Loco Works at Brighton. I think it'd be nice just to have set some locos up on there, have Thunderbolt on there, have Jenny on there, even have my Bachmann Prosher on there. He's old enough, and I'm sure it won't look too out of scale. Not sure I'd get away with putting my Triang Rocket on there though. Not sure what livery, brown or green. Jenny at one point had boiler bands painted alternate dark and light green. Yes, it did indeed, as did a lot of Chatham engines, I believe, of the time. Place that sold kits for early LB&SCR Carriage at one point. Don't think they're in production anymore. James, that was Chris Cox of 5 and 9. You can still get stuff from him. 1840 coaches sound good. We're replacing Chris Cox's coaches. Having said that, would love some H&O London and Croydon. Referring to the carriages, I have drawings of grey single, may do it someday. Oh, very nice. All for 1840 coach outfits. Somewhere I have a colour print of the Brighton Jenny. Splendid. There is a colour print of the Brighton's Jenny on the Brighton Toy Museum website. I believe. Let's cut it down. Be easier to work with, your shorter bit. See how much easier this is when you've got a sharp knife blade? Let this be a lesson to you all to always replace your knife blades. Save that bit for in a second. Oh, by the way, my current modelling update, late as usual, I've just made the world's most basic station building out the depot engine shed lean-to. Oh, that's interesting, Ian. I'd like to see some pictures of that. Chris Cox is gentling me to doing it all 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks ago, wasn't it, Killian? We were discussing it in this very stream. It'll cover a mobile phone's vibrating motor, so hopefully I won't have to poke. Hydration, children. Take to work on one model. Oh, I'd like to see a picture. I saw the lag too. Is for me. Put that up for those. Okay, everything's looking all right now. We're going to demonstrate the time delay because I'm going to type time delay now. So I'm typing time delay and I'm pressing enter on the word. In fact, time delay test to not confuse you all in chat. I'm pressing enter now because, yeah, there is a lot of that there. Let me know when you get that message. Ah, Killian saw it as I said it. Brilliant. Perfect. Someone's not getting... How do you get less time delay than me when I'm in the same... Yeah, I don't get that. Computers. Literally my job to understand them, but I don't. Good evening, Mr. Lancaster, sir. You join us just as we have hopefully sorted out our lag problems. How are you today? And I'm going to say hello again to Luke, because I don't know if you heard me say hello with how the stream was acting. So, hello Luke, good evening, welcome to the stream, how are you? So, I think we're just about all ready for the gold on here now. I'm not going to worry about covering up the majority of the back head because there's just too much detail to get round. I should hopefully be able to go round that. There we go, the focus. I should hopefully be able to get round that without putting too much gold on it. But it shouldn't take too much to touch it up anyway. I expect the visual lag on my end is usually more anyway, so the audio now matches because it's slower. Yeah, hello Chris, I'm fine. Good evening everyone. So yes, Vallejo liquid gold. This is my preferred method of doing gold and has been for some time. I can't remember where I originally bought it from. But it is very, very shiny. Because it is in fact gold leaf. So it is very shiny and works very, very well. My pot of this doesn't always open. It has today. That's probably because I've had it open to do the transfer. Quite often gets stuck together. So if I get that done, you can already see just how shiny this is going to be. And I do love it for that. Of course, another good thing about being actual gold leaf under here, of course, so it's leaving a fine layer of gold on the loco. If I spray this with matte varnish, that gold will still be shiny. As I have done with a lot of my models, I paint this on before the matte varnish and I still get the shiny brass. You know what, James? This is the point where I point out that I have the same name as the person who wrote that song. First and last. If you came out to if you were in a karaoke bar local to me, you would hear me singing it. Trust me, you don't want that. But yeah, I can definitely recommend this Vallejo liquid gold for all your goldy needs. Because it really is superb. It is not a great thing to have to do a second coat of, because when you do a second coat it will re-liquefy what's already there. So you want to make sure you're getting enough on to manage it in one coat. Oh, Firebolt's going to look superb in that. Yes, Killian, it is. Oh, wow. Send me a tweet, I'll give you a link. Can't wait to see it finished. Try dry brushing details on. Hashtag not sponsored. I'll have to remember that for my early locos. It will be getting a very thin wash of black over most of the details. Probably not tonight, to be honest. And as for the hashtag not sponsored, I mean, not tonight we're not. But I have got something in store for us next week, which is why we need to finish lots of things off. It's not quite sponsorship, but it's close. Because next week's stream will be being turned into a magazine article. Yeah, it'll be used as the basis for writing one anyway. So it'll be the first one of my streams I ever watch back myself. Because it will make the it will be the reference material for a magazine article that I have been asked if I would write. Oh wow, cool. Oh my giddy aunt, well done, that's going to be so cool. What magazine is it? It will be the modelling magazine of the Brighton Circle, who are the chappies that deal with the history of the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway. I'm going to wash this off now before it dries on. We still have a bit more to do. I'm probably going to use a smaller brush for that. And conveniently, I have the stuff for next week's stream sat next to me. So, in next week's stream, we shall be taking young Stepney here, which is the old Dapol model, actually a Dapol one as well. And along with various other details, we shall be applying some... I'm going to have to take them out of the pack, aren't I? It's too shiny for the camera. We will be applying a new name and number. Still rather shiny. Camera is struggling. There we go. These have just been released by Precision Labels. So they shall be getting their first look next week with a full review. I've also done my own transfers for the boiler lining. So yes, next week shall be a terrier themed stream, and shall then be used as reference material for writing a magazine article for the Brighton Circle, to do with mainly with the Precision Labels transfers. Kemptown replaced the Brighton Inspector on the Hailing branch, did it not? Yes, it did. It did indeed. You are quite right, Killian. It's much more personal to me, though. Hydration, kids. Very, very important. Now, don't know how well you can see this on the camera. There you go, you can see it from this angle. Here we have a raised lip, top and bottom. Both these raised lips want to be gold, which is why I need my smaller brush. And by smaller brush I mean old, worn out slightly, actually snapped to the stick brush. I'm going to give this another shake because it does settle very quickly. No, I'm sure you can't imagine why at all, Alex, can you? In fact, whilst we're talking about future streams, if I spin the camera around, you'll notice something missing from my soldering station. Something rather important in the shape of a soldering iron. Of course, you may remember it wasn't soldering very well for me. So I thought, well, the tip is knackered. I'll replace the tip. So I got some new tips. I took the top off the soldering iron so I could get the tip off. And, oh, you know, you could see the tip was really knackered. So I took that off and saw this. That is the heating element. So I continued to dismantle my soldering iron. To discover the heating element has been completely destroyed. So the iron needs replacing from my soldering station before we can do any soldering projects. Which obviously puts the i3 back on hold till that is done, because I can't do white metal soldering without a soldering iron. I have no idea how that's happened, James. Ironically, these dismantle to such a degree that you can replace the heating element yourself, but you have to solder a new one on. So, you know, really good design there. Really happy with them for that. So the i3 will be coming, but I need to get either a new iron or a new heating element. It will most likely just be a whole new iron. Will still be one for this same soldering station. It'll just be the iron part that needs replacing. It's only going to cost me a tenner or so. So yeah, I will get that sorted. I'll hopefully order one this week, so I should have it in plenty of time. Look, I'm going to peel this bit off now because it's just going to get in the way. But yeah, so it shouldn't set us back too far. But that is an update from this week. And honestly, is kind of fitting for this week, if I'm honest with you. That is the type of irony that hurts. Yes, it is. It's very shiny, isn't it, James? She is going to look fabulous. Well, that one's not gone nearly as well as hoped. Never mind, we'll touch up the green. I must say, I'm quite used to having to touch up colours around this gold leaf. It's not a problem. So, you know, there's a couple of spots to touch up, but it's a vast improvement. Random bit of white metal falling off and scaring me. Oh Lord, I've always hated doing precision brushwork like that. Unsteady hands, terrible eyesight, doesn't help. Oh yes. Oh, see, that's my trick with doing precision brushwork. So holding it in one hand, with the other hand I touch my little finger onto the first hand and onto the model if possible. And that way, if either hand is shaking, that same shake is mirrored by the loco, or the model. I think the gold is starting to settle back down into the liquid now. Yes, definitely you can see that's not coming out nearly as well. That is how quickly this can settle down and need reshaking. Keeping your elbows together also helps. Yeah, I'm sure keeping your elbows together would be fine. The problem is, I've got a big boom arm and a phone between my arms at the moment, so my elbows can't really go together. I shook that for much longer than planned because I was talking, and I didn't want to put the paintbrush down with the gold on it, so I was trying to have the paintbrush in my mouth. Much better. Again, there'll be some touching up needed. but it's fine. I don't mind having to do that. God, that went really bad. That front one though has gone quite well. And I believe that is all the gold we need. Physically can't do that, far too fat. If you say so, Alex. Take your word. And again, I just use the standard thinners to wash the gold leaf off for enamel. The other good thing about this stuff is it dries very quickly. Look, I can touch that now and it's fine. I've really got to stop trying to use those tweezers to do things like this. They're alright for getting in underneath it, but not for actually grabbing it. You can see we've got a bit of spill there where I've obviously not pressed down hard enough. And again on the other side. So you can see what's happened there is there's a moulding line here. It's quite visible now. And I've not pressed down hard enough about it. I think I said last stream, but in case I didn't forget, the smoke box door hinges also need to be red. You did indeed say that, Alex. I do remember. I had forgotten, but you had said it. Seriously, I just tried. Take your advice, found a white metal kit I think would be a cool start. HO French. Oh, very nice, Will. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. How are you this evening? Sorry for the pause there, guys. I was a little awestruck by my own work. Isn't she beautiful? And this is why people shouldn't be allowed to collect kits and let them sit. Battlefield sounds no 504, sounds interesting, fine. Just been looking for kits. HO, little white metal, mostly brass. Kaiser, gosh, that is nice. Right. The bands looking superb. Oh, yeah, I'm so happy with this. And it's so shiny. Shiny is good. I know this because I have a small child and they watch Moana. So now we have to test. This is standard water slide transfer paper. I have painted onto it in enamels, matching the colours used on the logo. Now we see how well it works. I'll give that a minute in there. Yes, oh cool, I think K-Bat will go for the mouth. Looks nice, and it looks like you did a good job. Thank you, Will. I am very happy with it. We're also going to see how well I can measure things here, because I did take a tape measure of around the chimney. Oh, that water's not soaking in very well through the enamel paint. That's not good. Let's have another drink because hydration. We're nearly an hour in, guys. Well, hey. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? I'm very happy with that, even with my uneven triangles. If ever it starts to bug me, I know I can do it again, it's only a transfer. Water slide transfers takes back to my Warhammer days. Having water slide paper around is brilliant. It's such a useful thing to have. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. So, we've got some red to touch up in the very empty red pot. I can't do any more projects that need red paint until I get a new one now. I'm going to use the tiny brush again. See if I can find the hole I made earlier. In fact, you can see just what I'm talking about here. There is nothing left. It is all horrible and drying out in the bottom. Luckily, under that skin it does stay quite wet. So in fact, in this instance, I've lifted a bit of skin out onto the lid. These hinges need to be red. As do the plates on the top of these bits. Let me come back to chat. Wonderful, great says my phone's on 1%. Oh guys, hello Ian, welcome to the chat. Let's see what gold paints I've used. Looks like good coverage. It is Vallejo liquid gold. It is absolutely brilliant. I've been printing bits for Chris Cott's early wheel centres, other bits mainly for me. I've been away for a bit. Seems to take a lot of time recently being in 2 choirs. Oh, very nice, Ian. I have something to show you that I don't know if you're aware of. So please make sure you hang around for a second. Because I know you're working on something the same as this, in fact. So I was sent a link last week to a post on Instagram by Precision Labels, Ian. And it was Brighton related. I had to try it out for quality. So I did order a set. And because Precision Labels have started doing transfers for terrier names and numbers. And I know you're working on them as well. Obviously they're transfer number plates, but they are a very shiny gold transfer. And he gives you 4 names and numbers for £6. So yes, I wanted to show you that, Ian. I've sent some pictures of these off to Eric Gates. They will be appearing in the Modeller's Digest when it comes out. I'm not entirely sold on the number plate transfers, but they're certainly a lot better than I expected. Right. I believe they're printed on an Alps printer. They certainly look it to me. Oh yes, I'm just getting ready to send off to Australia for that sort of thing. I will contact and see if they can print what I need in this country then. Cheers. Not a problem, Ian. They will be the central point of next week's stream. As I say, my pictures of them are going to be in the upcoming Modeller's Digest, and I'm going to do a full review of them for the issue that should be coming out around Christmas time. Have all the number plate etched and ready, 0.2mm bright. Oh, I do, Ian. I would love a set for number 64. Yeah, I'd love a set for number 64, Ian. If you can do them. Drop me a message over on RM Web. Because I would love a set for 64. Give us, so it gives us something to compare to. Well, I believe these would be your etches, would they not? Because these are the EB Models plates from when EB was still owned by Mike. It's convenient having terriers just lying around. Right, we'll touch up this first. Yes, 64. Thank you, Ian. Oh, don't drop it. Don't drop it. You see, if I were doing this off stream, I would have it on the workbench and move myself towards it. But obviously that's no good for camera angles. I've just noticed another bit of red I need to touch up. That's all looking good to me. Recently drew them all to make them slightly finer and more readable. Oh, brilliant, Ian. How many terriers do I own? I currently have 8, Killian. 42 to go to have the full set. 64 Zoo Lane. Yes, Luke. Yes. The theme tune to that goes through my head every time I say the number 64. Oh, I can't help myself. But yes, as for terriers, this one here is my proof of how good you can get the old moulding ones looking. Because let's face it, that's not a bad terrier at all. Obviously it's nothing compared to the new ones. but she's a lot more terrier than out the box. So that's the sort of thing we're going to be aiming for next week with poor little Stepney here. Who will be becoming Kemptown. There we go. That's the red touched up. Are you going to hack the smoke box door number plate off as well? Yeah. I want it to be good. They're actually surprisingly easy to do. Being an original moulding one, I believe they all had it. I think it was Hornby that introduced the new mouldings without it. Right, so we got some green to touch up. And then she just needs her nameplates adding. Seriously though, never let collectors get their hands on kits. Why Kemptown? Because Kemp is my surname, Ian. So it's one I've always felt I should have. So we've got a little bit of touching up on the cab sides to do. And then it's just around the wheels. Now obviously touching up, you can of course mess it up and be covering the bits that are meant to be whatever colour you're painting over. But you can touch up again, it's fine. Don't worry about that if you do that. Much better. Not a problem, Ian. Do not worry about it. Oh no, I've fallen off camera. much better. Although I noticed looking at it on the camera, I could use a little bit more over here. I think she's looking very good. Well, considering how badly you sold, you wouldn't believe how many people are charging for Brighton liveried Backman E4s. Won't be getting one of those then. I'll stick with the one for train sim. How much are they, Alex? Oh, big bit of black that needs touching up there as well. I forgot about that. Do tell, how much are they going for at the moment? Thunderbolt is looking stunning. Thank you very much. I am so very, very happy with Thunderbolt. Honestly, when I bought this kit, I thought it was going to be one of those kits that did sit around for a long time getting put off because of all the horror stories of how bad these are. Oh, and talking of E4s, Luke, I've got some good news for you. Hicktown Post Office reopens tomorrow. I might not get a chance to do it through the week, but next weekend I should have a chance to... I should definitely have had a chance to post everything. On eBay going for 100... No! That's incredible. And is that for the standard Brighton liveried one, Alex, or is it for the limited edition Birch Grove one? I don't think I paid much more than 60 for one of mine. Never mind 110. Some red flaked off there and off them, so we'll have to touch that up. Got some black to do there. And that is honestly everything I can see. Okay, very nice. Just looking at it, I missed last week's episode. I'm off to bed now. Have fun, rest of you. Hello and goodbye, Stephen. Thank you for popping in. Good to see you. Sleep well. Hurrah. One of your E4s was free. Normal numbered one, not Birch Grove. Bloody heck. It was not free, Luke. I mean, technically I haven't paid for it yet, but it's not free. We swapped it. Cheapest is 95 for a used one. Blooming heck. I have 3 of them sat in the cupboard. 3 of them. Not even joking. That's madness. Oh, the chair's starting to squeak again. I've been looking at new chairs for the recording setup over the last week, because this one definitely won't go in the new studio once that's up and running. Oh, we've got some gold to touch in as well. I forgot about that down the sides here. And I suppose I should paint over this bit of red that's sticking out here, where I got a fingerprint on it. Go there. Come back from there. Filler cap. Not quite covered round inside it enough. Glad I noticed that when I did. Did trains do indeed have it for 90, still too expensive for model backmen used to flog us on clearance because they didn't sell. The extortionate price for RTR do push people to scratch build or print something more interesting. You know what, Killian, that's quite true. The only reason I can do this is because Ready to Run was too expensive for me. So I started scratch building. And I enjoyed scratch building so much that when I had money, I decided I'd rather spend it on kits than Ready to Run. I would much rather sit and build a kit than open a box. But that's just me, not everyone would want to do that. Right, so we've got some red bits to touch in. I really need to get some more red. So there's a bit that's come off there. It's flaked off the solder. Not surprising, to be honest, because obviously those bits are not only handled but also are moving parts. Tell you what, if this focuses, you can't even see the join on that transfer on the chimney. I'm so happy with that. It was a gamble, it paid off. Can't find a Vallejo gold leaf paint listed anywhere. Clues where to look. I can't remember where I got it. I have seen it recently on eBay. Looking for Vallejo liquid gold. I think a tub this size is about £8, which is a 35mm tub. I did have a look the other day. And in fact, they had a four set of two slightly different golds, a silver and a copper for I think £15 or something like that on eBay. You know, I think I'm going to get that, despite the fact I will never run out of this. And would much rather open a box than I do my era in RTR. So you're missing out on the fun, Alex. Mine, funnily enough. Woo, transfer success. Yes, thank you, Alex. I'm very happy with that transfer idea. You can laugh, Chris, but don't do one of your gauges, yeah. Hand-built tracks, fun, Christopher. Enjoy that. I mean, I say that, but see how well this camera goes over. Whoa, that's some hand-built track. My dual gauge 00009. Right, thanks, found it, had the wrong name. There's copper 2 for the chimney. Yes, there is. There is all sorts. Right, what was my next bit I was touching in? I'm sure there was still something to do. But I can't see anything. Don't find model making fun. Having the final product, yes, but not making. All my years both wargame model making, never enjoyed the making. That's fair enough, Alex. Not everyone does. I suppose I should put some red on the regulator handle at least. And probably on the reverser. I can't see it in the picture, he's got his hand covering it up. Track building interest. What method do you use for the turnouts? So far, I don't. I have only built straight bits of track, well, straight and curves. I've not built any turnouts. Not brave enough for that yet. When I do the big layout that will finally replace Oak Hill, which I'm going to call Oak Hill Mark II, that will most likely be fully hand-built track. Said I'm still willing to do it mainly because I want the end product. Do you want me to get the film back on iPlayer? Samurai RC on turnout building recently, very interesting. I'm sure it was. It sounds very interesting. It is a skill I'd like to learn, James. Layout without turnouts could be said to be pointless. A layout without turnouts could be said to be a bright helmstone as well, though, Killian. But yes, that someone made that pun in their layout name on RM Web back in the day. I can't remember who it was. They were making a broad gauge little shunting plank, no points on it. Very, very, very small. Shunting back and forth with a traverser fiddle yard instead of points. And the layout thread was called small, broad and totally pointless. But yes, Bright Helmstone has no points on it. Has a turntable, which I scratch built, but it has no points. Okay. I think she's painted. I'm quite happy with them to just be red, whether it's totally correct or not. It just adds that little bit of colour to the cab. I know what else I was meant to touch up now. Sides of the firebox running down in there, because I masked over them earlier, because to be honest it was easier than cutting it. I think I may have points now though. Yes, it was John, wasn't it? Yes, of course. Not certain like my layout will have points either at the moment. Fair enough. Layouts don't need points. That'll do me. She'll do. Oh yes. Right then. So if Bright Helmstone has no points, then what's the point? You know what, Luke, I'm going to take your joke and I'm going to answer it. The point is to take photos of locos on it. Thanks, I've ordered the paint. We'll try out the resin to try and represent polished metal bits. Early to rise tomorrow, so there's banking. So good night. Keep it up, looking good. Good night, Ian. Thank you for popping by. Has been great having you here. In those days, they had as many turntables as points. Yeah, thing is, it's going to be a near micro layout, so not much space for shunting or anything fancy. Beautiful, thank you guys. I suppose the only thing left to do now is to christen her. Hello, focus. You're there somewhere. They are all legible. I believe I'm going with the smaller ones based on the photo I've got in next to me. Eventually, these will be replaced by Narrow Planet etched ones, but I don't have those at the moment, so my printed ones will have to do. That's true, Killian turntables traversers. I built Seaford in the 1990s, one turntable, 3 points. 2 were freeway though. My first go at point weren't making. That sounds very interesting. Ian, I would have liked to have seen that. Woo name. Yes. As I say, these names are temporary. Let's move you back a minute. You can see my hands can still be in front then. All I'm doing is cutting out the nameplate. With a not great pair of scissors. I keep meaning to get the other scissors out to bring out here for when I'm streaming, but I always forget. Yes, that's definitely the one I want. So we'll cut out the one for the other side. And get them stuck on. Honestly, I only cut the bigger ones because I wasn't sure these smaller ones were going to be legible. But they are. So they'll do. They could, in all honesty, they could probably do with being slightly smaller still. But as it is, the lettering on these little ones is only 1.5mm tall. And it's a question of how small can my printer manage and still be legible for something that's ultimately temporary. Must think up some appropriate names for my logos. Yes, you must, Alex. Do you think you do like names for all of the AK and ALR ones? Because you could always just nick them. North Midland railway names, right? Birmingham, Gloucester, loco named Worcester, which is ironic considering it bypassed the city. It is rather. Where's that tiny little one again? There it is. Just going to get some PVA. On there. That was not the best way of doing that. I hope I've got this the right way round. Yeah. No, that's upside down. Because of course the problem with legible nameplates is you have to put them on properly. I'm using PVA because they are only temporary and I want to be able to get them off again when the etched ones do arrive. This one is also upside down. And so she is christened. So, future of this model is to get it a stay alive, fit the stay alive to the DCC chip, which will go in there. That will not be fun getting that in there. It would have been okay before there was a wheel set in the way. But, you know, hi, I'm Gary, I don't do things planned in advance. Once that is in, the DCC decoder will be permanently attached to the bottom of the tender, giving me permanent attachment between loco and tender. For the time being, it shall not be. What I will do, stick a blob of blue tack in there. Of course, doing that now will also be held up by my lack of soldering iron. She will be getting some real coal in her tender. But my lump is still very much a lump at the moment. And it's probably best not to be smashing it down at this time. She'll be getting a crew. And she'll be getting brass plates. However, after now having appeared in more than half my streams, I believe it's time for us to say goodbye to the Thunderbolt. Get that bit of filler off there. I'm very happy right now though. Very, very happy. She's got to come and run at club definitely. It should be shown off. And look, it's almost the same thing I just showed you. Almost. But yes, happy is most definitely an understatement. Oh God, chat is off the top. I can't see it all. Just remembered I still have to do wheel shakes for you. Looking beautiful there, Gary. Loco's not bad either. Thanks, Linny. Much appreciated. Welcome to chat. Good to see you. Hope you are well. Splendid. Can't wait, Killian. I approve of Stay Alives. I hope you don't mind me asking if you could do that North Midland trip or two at some point as well, Killian. Not being cheeky, am I? We'll be getting a vicar and a bishop as crew. Yes, Linny, that is the plan. A vicar and a bishop to act as the crew, because, I mean, it just wouldn't be right otherwise, would it? I've heard it said coal is one of the few things which can be made an accurate scale model by taking full-size item and hitting with a hammer. Yes, it is. Very few things that can be done like that. Coal is one of them, and that is how I intend on doing it. It's a slate 2. Goodbye, Thunderbolt. Been an interesting product. It will be interesting to see it running when fully cold. Stay alive. Yes, it will. It's going to be great, isn't it? hopefully I will be able to afford to grab Dan's coach off Shapeways in the near future. We'll give that a build on stream and we'll renumber my Great Western Toad that I've got, and we'll have the actual Thunderbolt train to run. But you've proved all the K's naysayers wrong. I've just got a good kit. I still think I've been lucky, Alex. And they said it couldn't be done. Yes, so many people said it couldn't be done. So happy right now. So that's good in North Midland, Loco and Duke Horse. That's beautiful, Loco Gary. Thank you, Killian. Also, question. I'm totally much better than I was on Friday. Just saw in Sports 3D printed model of a Brighton engine. We've been discussing this engine already in stream chat, Lenny. Everyone knows what it is. Did Lion have a wood floorboard? It might have done, but I imagine it was very, very black with coal very quickly. Hey Lenny, you're wonderful. I'm back, my phone died, just got a charger. Welcome back, Max. You have just missed my beautiful shot I did of Thunderbolt. I mean, I'm going to have to do it again. I'm sure no one will have a problem with me doing it again. I'll bring this back to the front where I can do it. The only reason it's more than 2D. Because what we have right here, Max, that you have missed, is the Titfield Thunderbolt. Looking rather beautiful, if I do say so myself. A K's kit built as K's intended with the addition of a DCC motor. A lot of people said it couldn't be done. A lot of people were very, very wrong. Now, my next plan was to do some more on this evening. Obviously it needs the bits of filler filing down. It needs holes drilling for the handrails. Unfortunately my drill's not working, so that's not going to happen. And it needs a roof. But I've lost my Pringles tube, so I've got nothing to form the roof on. So that's not getting done tonight either. So the only thing I could do on this tonight is to take down the filler. Which really, I don't see the point of just doing that on the stream for this. So I think we should move on to what was going to be Project 3 for the evening, personally. We're a little over halfway through the stream. I reckon we can get this model built and on its wheels. Maybe even some paint on it tonight. Who's up for a challenge? Viewing. Impressive. Thank you, Max. Could you use something like cut popsicles to make small wood floor and glue it to place? I mean, I could, but I'm not going to be honest. I see from my lag I should just be discussing challenges. I'm going to grab my pot of paints over because I did forget to do that earlier. I've got everything else I need. This is the one, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one we want. I'm going to get a model of the Thunderbolt, but I'm saving up money for a train show. She's a beautiful loco to own. I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am that I own this right now. So, I want to bring it slightly forward so it stays on camera. It's just too beautiful not to have there. Can't wait to see the Routes and Trust pictures are coming when it's done. Better ask Killian, it's his project. So, yes. Can we build? Well, with an hour 20 left, can we build a kit I have never built before? Get paint on it and have it rolling. Thankfully, it's a very simple kit. You may remember these because we made one of these out of a triang wagon. Her in the back. Exactly, Alex. You can ogle her in the background. That's what I wanted because she looks beautiful there. God. Well, it even gives me instructions for the lettering. Not that I really need that. I think I did an okay job. Yes, the Cambrian kit, Alex. And when we're feeling brave and have a soldering iron again, the new cast kit. Slightly heavier than the Cambrian one. But you know, all it needs is paint, transfers, wheels and bearings added. Everything else is in the kit. So there's a kit that I've never built before. It has two parts that look very unfamiliar. Unless they're the... no. But yeah, so let's build. Way, that's what this is called, isn't it? Let's build. It's almost like I did that on purpose. Can't even got plank detail in the end, on the inside. Which is obviously something my triang bashes don't have. Oh, and of course it will also need couplings. These are 3 links, aren't they? Yes, those are 3 links. Luckily I keep a stash of couplings on the workbench. That one can go over there. We shan't be using that end, I want the round-ended one. Oh, that is that. Yes, it is. That's clever. Oh, that's very clever. And now it's very gone. Whoops. That's better. What we had was when this goes on and the bar goes round underneath it, it's got quite a few shapes in it. So on here it actually has an end piece to represent all that the brass wire just comes onto. Much easier to have it, but it's a bit late now. God, I'm still off camera, aren't I? I'll try my best to stay on cameras. Trust, I promise. So you're going to add cold load to the tender? Yes, she'll be getting real cold, so you'll be building this one round ends for LB&SCR condition. Yes, those weird parts are... yes, I see now. So what we do with these bits here, we break them off. We don't even cut them off nicely. We break them off and we throw them behind us. Like that. Because that's what we think of Hornby tension locks. If you're going to have a stash of anything, scale coupling's a good one to have. Indeed. 3 packs sitting there. There may be a 4th one around that's fallen down the side between the wall and the bench. But I don't know. Brake levers both sides, but brakes only on one, I believe, for LB&SCR condition. You know, as I would like to get this to a state of looking like a wagon tonight. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world, but it's a bit of a challenge I've set myself, because obviously, as discussed earlier, whatever happens, this won't be carrying on next week. I do just mount just on the inside, that's what I was thinking, right. Because, you know, we have another job to do next week. Hashtag nearly sponsored. Tension lots. Well, at least smaller back ones. Yes, but come on, Linny, you cannot deny that these things look better with scale couplings. I understand where you're coming from with the ease of use, but you can't deny how much better they look, leaving the buffers and the rings for them on there. What would be really nice would be to replace them with sprung buffers, but that's not happening tonight. And you know, look, they already have the hole in the middle to accept the scale coupling. What's next week? Next week, Linny, we will be taking young Stepney here and renaming to become Kemptown, which will then be official guidance material, and then in my case reference material for a magazine article I've been asked to write. So not quite sponsored, but close enough. Right, that's the one we've just filed, isn't it? So yes, next week will finally be a terrier related stream. They look better, but I get sore eyes shunting a 7mm out with 3 winks over the... yeah. I can manage 4mm fine, Linny. I'd hate to have to do them any smaller than 4mm, but I can manage 4mm fine, so yeah. Much more. I'd much prefer the looks over the ease, to be honest. But I do understand why people like tension locks, and you know, I totally get it. But not for me. Terror namely 12th by circle. So you answered for me as well. Thank you, Alex. I approve of magazine articles. As do I. I was very happy with the knowledge that I would be doing one again. It has been a while since I've appeared in print. So I'm going to try and make a good job of it. See, now this has bits from the sprue there, but of course it wasn't on one. This is where my too small knife blade is a problem. First I prefer ease of use over looks. I like doing hands-free shunting, so auto couplers are a must. What are you building for the article? The magazine article. The article itself will be mainly based around the transfers for the new terrier plates. So we're going to take the old Dapole Terrier, and we're going to make it look a lot better. I remember once sending a picture of this one to Rails of Sheffield and telling them I wanted something that looked at least that good. They definitely managed it. But yes, the main point of the article will be the new renaming transfers from Precision Labels. But that doesn't mean we can't have some fun with it. So I say I have also drawn up some boiler bands to go on there to replace the existing ones, which I think on that one are just plain white. So that is a vast improvement. I'm not sure if they will go up on the website to be downloaded though. It's a bit of a pointless file. It's like, you know, well, it's that much off the top of an A4 sheet. It really is rather pointless for you guys to download and print out. If it's wanted up there, I can put it up there. Going to put a good word for KDs here. Such a pleasure to shunt yard with them. Not all realistic for most UK settings, but great fun. Heresy detected. Why not re-letter and renumber it as Stepney if they had the decals for it? I already have Stepney Max. That is my second Stepney. So that one will be losing its name and becoming Kemptown. Filling another gap in my collection of terriers. I mean, while people may think I was joking when I said I only need 42 more later, I wasn't. I would never joke about such things. I need 42 more terriers. Oh, she's Caleb. Hello, Corbs. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Everyone here should be listening to Corbs' podcast, which is clearly available by clicking through to his channel off his name, since he's logged in with that one this evening. It's a great listen, and this week's one gave me lots of ideas for a diorama to make, and yes. Oh, I think I found the bit that flew off. I have found it. Brilliant. We used to have tension locks, O16.5 layout, they're basically cheaper couplings. I've seen people use tension locks on O-gauge. It's terrible. But I've seen it happen. KD's definitely better looking than tension locks. I don't think they are, actually. So much heresy, even all cycles. Oh, thanks for plug. Any time, Corbs. Your podcast is good enough that it deserves the plug. I'll be able to fools for Jenny Dunn. Yes. What's his podcast about? The podcast is called Railway Mania. It's about railways. For the enthusiast, by the enthusiast, and it's brilliant. So, how long have we got left? We've got an hour left. I can't believe the zero tolerance list. At least we've got lots of different subjects, all railways. Nothing forward to podcast with Simon Martin. Oh, you got Simon coming on. It's not something I knew you were doing. About the 1840s. There was an episode about that. Right, that's gone in very nicely, very tight. Didn't want to come out again, it went in so nicely. Should definitely not have done the super glue like that. Keep an eye out for an... Oh, of course it'd be a Thompson episode with Simon on it, yes. Of course. Let's pour the glue out again. I bet he was brilliant. He's such a nice guy. Keep an eye. Brilliant. So the question is then, Corbs, when am I coming on? What are we talking about? And can I plug my live stream? That slightly tongue-in-cheek comments, but I totally would if you came up with an episode that I could fit. Right, bearings fitted. Are these floors to the right? I mean, heck, they are, aren't they? Yes! Excellent. Let's do it. Brilliant. I will drop you a message at some point tomorrow, Corbs. I'd love to come on. Got to come up with something to talk about, though. Leave that ball in your court. It's your podcast. That's nice and square. So I'm just here. Let's move these bearings out of the way before I lose them. Corbs and Gary podcast. Yes. So I'm just using the floor to make sure I've got everything square here. There it is. See, it's looking like a wagon already. And to think, there were people that thought I couldn't do this tonight and finish it. I shall name no names. Okay, admittedly they changed their mind when they found out what it was I was planning on doing. It doesn't fit around the door detail. Didn't think of that. There we go. Floors in. Sides are done. So now I'm going to run some super glue round. I've nearly used up all the super glue that I squeezed out already. There we go, brilliant. There was a skeptic, yes. Yeah, yes, Alex, before the stream I got a message of you're going to start and finish a project tonight. Hydration is very important, kids. I don't think I've topped this up today. I've been too busy enjoying the modelling. 55 minutes to go. So these sit in here. You can see all the marks on the bottom for everything to line it all up nicely. Of course, we won't be entirely trusting those. We will be making sure the wheels fit before sticking two of these on. Get the first one stuck on. It's going to make life easier. Give that a second to dry. We don't want to be ruining it. I have an idea about who might have said it, but I'll keep that to myself. I think you're wrong with your idea. I don't think you do know who said it. Are you going to paint it? How many of these wagons do you need for your layout? Lots. I'd like to plead the shade defence. Plead whatever you want, Linny. Oh, I wasn't naming you. I named no one. Where have I put my tweezers? There they are. They're under this ruler for some reason. Focus, please. So that's the back of the V hanger. Lines up nice. Obviously there should be a bar going across there. Oh, fair enough. How many of these wagons do you need for your layout? Loads. The Brighton had loads of these. These were the primary type of wagon that the Brighton had, so I need lots of them. And my wagon stock has been absolutely terrible. Oh, blue tack, oh, blue tack, oh, come back, oh, wheel. Don't run off again, wheel. It's almost like they're wheels or something. Anyone would think they're round and designed to roll. See, now if I'd have just glued that straight in where it's supposed to be. They do fit, but barely. I think the reason for that is this one's either I've stuck it on at an angle or it's slightly bent. So I'm just trying to remove it. But it looks like what I've done. They look a lot straighter than they did to me. So maybe we'll be okay. There's a big hole there. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. So we'll get that glued down. Cool, lots of chat going on. Is there a way to make the plastic have a wood grain? I mean, yeah, rough wire brush over the plastic. Rough wire brush over, but you couldn't do it on something like this because of all the iron work. But if you have something that's just bare planking detail, scrub an iron, like wire wool or something over it, and you'll get a wood grain type of effect. That was a better answer, Alex. I like that. People scribe sharp edge can be done. Right, good job that they're easy to build in that case. Production line, naughty wheels, wood. Yes, that's annoying, isn't it? Yeah, I had the same issue with 009 vans. Yes. My 009 stock's even more lacking. I'll have to upload those videos at some point, because all of my 009 features in videos, I just haven't uploaded any of them. Yeah, see, they're going to be fine. Brilliant. God, for a second I thought I pulled my microphone out. That's the way I did it. Okay, that's the way I'll do it again. Look, we're nearly out of parts. This is going brilliant. Brake gear. Yes, it does have a lip where it sticks there. That's okay then. I should be able to do that, because things that have lips make this easier. Yes, you must. I think you did. Can't hear you now. Wait. Hope you have couplers. I do have couplers. Can we hear me okay? Because I'm confused now, Alex. I'll take it those yeses are to the can. Brilliant. So it was just Alex saying it to confuse me and annoy me. I mean, in reality, you should still be able to hear me even if I did pull the microphone out. Because, of course, if the microphone comes out, I'm using a phone to record, so... That has a microphone built in. Right, that's that plastered with glue in all the right places, hopefully. Oh no, there we go. Brake gear. Brake lever, sorry. It's just joking, dude. I would have heard you say you nearly pulled... Why super glue rather than mech pack or similar? Just personal preference. I usually have super glue for white metal, but solvent for plastic. Because I have some, Ian. Quite simply. The original plan for post Thunderbolt and Brighton Carriage would have been the white metal i3, which is to be soldered. So there was no need for me to buy any glues at all for that. Then my soldering iron broke. Then the need for doing a terrier next week happened. So it very quickly became, well, what can we do to end the stream? Because we're going to run out of things to do. And I thought, I know. I've got a Cambrian wagon to build. That is plastic. I can use super glue. Let's do that. Obviously these things work better if you don't stick them to yourself. Oh, also, yeah, that's 30p's worth of super glue there. I don't know why people say I get it seriously cheap. It comes from Poundland. You could pay the same price. Alright, so these go in here like that. There really is not a lot of points for the super glue to grip on some of these parts. And even that on the pin could be too much glue. Yeah, that really is the tiniest contact point ever. Guaranteed I break that at some point in the future. Super excited Terry D reckon. Thank you, Max. I am as well. In my local pound shop, super glue is closer to £1 for that much. Really? This comes from Poundland. I get 3 pack for the pound. So they work about 33p per pack. In a set like that. So about 33p per tube is what I meant, not per pack. My local Poundland sells 4 small bottles of super glue for £1. Very good stuff. Each one lasts me a year. The others are in the fridge. Yes, my local one used to do packs of 4. They were slightly different shaped bottles to these ones. I was very disappointed when they changed and only did 3, because these bottles only hold the same amount as the other ones did. I'm going to have to pour out a drink. 40 minutes to go, but hydration is important. This cup is not one for fizzy drinks, which is odd because it's, you know, it's a Father's Day tankard. It's clearly designed for lager. Not that you will ever see any lager in it. And last time I checked, lager be fizzy. About 7-8-ish for 8 tiny shoes. Blooming heck. I will go look in my local one at some point. Can't argue with the price. Actually, wouldn't that work out to 25 pence per bottle? No, because I get 3, so it's 33 pence. It used to be when I used to get more. How accurate is this to the length? Yes, perfect. Thought so. Has a diagram for me to bend round. Those wagons. Yes, they do, Corbs. I have always liked these. Stuff like this is actually one of the things that drew me to pre-grouping. I know it seems boring that it should be wagons that draw me, but it was not the only thing, but certainly one of them. Right, I should be able to see that enough to clip it. Yes. There we go. It does show them going on the outside, doesn't it? Oh, punching the microphone. Yes, they go on the outside. This is going to be very fiddly. Very, very, very fiddly. The SCR did have some very lovely round-ended wagons, didn't they, Linny? Yes. Can't imagine why you're bringing them up. Does have a groove on this for the wire to sit in. It just doesn't want to. So you can see that just above where the wire is, you can see the groove. I've got it in on the other side. There we go, it's in. Let's stick a dab more super glue on that now that it's in. There we go. Right, how many of the wagons went to be our own ship? How many are still around? Not a lot. Don't think it's boring. Pre-grouping wagons came in all sorts of interest stars. Design generic A4 is rounded new wagon based on gauge ones on made a line. Not entirely sure it's worthwhile. But oh, they sound good, Killian. Didn't the GSR have some? I mean, if you're happy, Linny, it's in this box here, so I could. But only if you're happy. It is in the state of the last photo I sent you. I shall await your permission, or not, as the case may be. Let's put some glue on these runners, which then it with the bottoms at the same height there. I think they should be half a plank higher than where they are actually. Go ahead. Yeah, okay then. So, in here, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we have round-ended wagons, we have a very slightly warped, because I haven't let it cure, round-ended southeastern wagon that came off someone's resin printer. It is a very, very nice print. So it's slightly bowed in because it's not cured and it's sitting in that box. But, you know, as long as you're gentle with it, it's coming back out. So the slight bowing is not an issue. Absolutely wonderful. It does also have its brake gear, but that is still attached to the sprues. I'm very happy with this, and it will be being built on stream at some point in the future. I need to get some more primer and give it a let it cure and give it a spray with that first though. Oh, and I need to get it some buffers as well. So yes, she's a very nice wagon, very well designed and printed by Linny. A absolutely fantastic job. Hashtag not sponsored. Yet. Loving the build. He's wanting the Thunderbolt. It's so beautiful, isn't it, Alex? I agree. Standard gauge tilt wagon. Cool. Awesome job, Linny. You can also put it in hot water and bend it back out again. Yeah, see? Lots of good tips from this. But I mean, it's a wagon, not a plane. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. But we make more than just planes. They make helicopters too. I wonder if this leftover bit is enough. Yes, I thought it would be. So let's work out which side this brake gear sits on. I'm assuming it's this side. Yeah, let's make sure that will line up properly for the wheels. Yeah, that wheel, that's perfect. So we'll pop the wheels in. She's not going to be a very straight runner. I have just noticed a problem. See how this side, the sole bar is pushed up to the edge, and this side I can get my tweezers in. That's a problem. See how the super glue's dried, because, you know, it's super glue. And let this be a lesson, everyone. This is why you don't set yourself silly little challenges and rush it. Any question time for the sponsorship? Definitely for now, because I want one of Linny's wagons too. Problems are bad. Solutions are better than problems. Yeah, yes, solutions are greater than problems. Just a little wonky. It's still good. It's still good. Nah, there's nothing good about the Southwestern. The one true company. Right, we can get under that side. Well, you know, in theory we can, as it stands. This side is in the way. Oh, we're nearly there. I knew that'd get you as well, Alex. Southwestern's a few of my sharp luggage engines. Have I ever told you all how much I enjoy winding people up? Winding Alex up about the Southwestern is a long-running one. Don't make me slap you with an M7. So this end obviously glued a lot better than the other end. Yeah, it snapped a bit now. It's not great, but it's nothing we can't fix. And even if it was, let's be honest, there's bigger problems in life. The LCDR is pretty small too, but that's half the SCCR. Alex, I'm loving the raid on the M7, haven't really had the H-Class much run yet. Can't go wrong, T9 in the afternoon as well as the other thing. Wind me up about. Yes, as well as the other things I wind you up about. Don't worry, Alex, I won't mention them here. The LCDR was indeed very small, Killian, and does very much count as one of the companies, regardless of being half of the Southeastern and Chatham. If you look at the grouping document, it states London, Chatham, Dover and Southeastern Railways on there. They did still exist. But in reality, if you look at all the companies listed, of the main companies, the Southeastern and Chatham Railway was the smallest one to be listed there, because it owned no engines and no track and no wagons and no carriages. I mean, you can't get a much smaller railway company, can you? The Southeastern and Chatham was nothing more than a management committee. But yes, I do only tease about the LSW. I do in fact quite like all the pre-grouping southern companies and various others. Well, as well as the offensive. Well, yeah, Cotillion, lovely. Looking at otherwise very short on money. Marley had to restuff the carriage seats at one point. Well, yes, well, I mean, they weren't the only poor pre-grouping company, were they? Enjoying taking a hacksaw to the T9 on my workbench. Yes, to be fabulous when it's done. There we go. Wheels are in straight now. Now, that could be a problem with the kit. It could be purely because of me rushing. And I expect it is the latter of those two options. So don't take that out on the kit. The SCCR did have the nicest... the Chatham livery is brilliant, yes. Can't beat a bit of Wainwright. Right then. Straight wheels are vastly overrated. No, they're not. I want this to run. Put some glue on there. Put some glue on there. Right, that's got no strength by that set of wheels there. So we're going to put some glue on. Like this, just to try and give it a bit of a better hold. There we go. That should hold it better. There we go. We've got a wagon. It's on wheels. Straight wheels well. So SCR just want stop the LCR and SCR from ripping each other's throats out. Well, they basically already had. They were both close to broke. Having shortened the smoke box to fit wing plates and sandbox front splashers, cross tube far box. It'll look great when it's done, Lenny. Can we have that on paper? We can't beat Peter Wainwright. No, you can't have that on paper. My wheels round, not straight. C-Class by far and nice. Okay, do it in that livery. So I find things run better when they are round. Once 828 comes out though from ours. No, I still think Wainwright livery is going to look better than that one. Rather jealous that I'm not having one, but I can't justify that much spending on it at this point in time. Right, shall we stick some paint on this then? We've got nearly 20 minutes to go. Let me grab one of my other ones. Oh yes, sleeper grime. I meant to grab that as well, didn't I? There it is. I just love taking my X-Class Bluebird. That was a very good photo, Linny. See Martley and Clark everything prompt you. Bluebell Blue P. Yes. Bluebell Blue is a very pretty livery, but of course it is based on Wainwright livery, so go away, pin. I've forgotten to put the buffers in, and now I do remember. That's the end of my singing. Hopefully forever, says everyone. Better. Don't want that going all rubbish on us whilst we sort these buffers out. I've purposely not done the couplings yet. Done with that screw. You say it means that, Linny, and yes, whilst you're right, you know what? Yeah. Oh, I did it on purpose, Linny. Well thought. Well remembered. I totally did it on purpose. Definitely correct there. Get some of that thinner off there. Not actually thinner, it's actually white spirit in there. It's just in that pot to keep it separate from the clean white spirit. So guys, I started this wagon at about 20 to 10. When do we get a musical version of the stream? Never. Kind of interested in what the retracted message was. But no, musical stream, never. Did they last a BR? Yes, rebuilt with flat ends. I don't know if any rounded end ones did. But yeah, so you know, we've been working on this wagon for an hour and 10 minutes. Just think about that as I sit here painting it. It does, doesn't it, James? It looks awfully like a wagon. A lot more than it did an hour ago. So the question is, who has enjoyed my challenge of challenging myself to a speed build? Have we enjoyed seeing this? Because I could definitely do more builds like this where I'm on a time limit. I will check chat in a second to see if anyone's responded. Honest. Carry the musical episode of Buffy. No. Never seen a photo around here where you could knock out a decent rate of these in a day at this rate. It's been boring. I could get through a rather nice quantity of these in a day, couldn't I? This brake lever wants to work. I suppose really I should leave that as brass for now. Then I can hold it by that whilst I do the bottom. How fast can you build that 3D printed wagon? Well, very. And I just want to see how easy hard Cambrian kits are. Well, now you know how easy they are, Alex. I like the speed builds. Excellent. We will definitely have to come up with some more speed building challenges in the future. I think instead of trying to rush things and making mistakes, you should take your time. Where's the fun in that, Luke? Where's the fun in taking my time and getting everything right? And get our slightly darker grey. That is, of course, standing in for black. Spin it round. What's the time? 11:53. Oh dear, Linny. I see that coming up on my phone. All I see is the word shapeways. Thanks, Buzz Killington. Not so bothered about the speed, time limit myself, but good to see how well these go together. Thank you for your input, Ian. Right, off to bed now, catch you later. I'll post more, maybe video, truck, or radio. Okay, good night, Max. I believe, you know, we're very close to stopping ourselves. It's been good having you here. Thank you for coming. It's been much appreciated. I hope this is the right one I picked up. I know that because the lid's broken. And this wagon will, of course, probably spend most of its life wearing a tarp. But it just wouldn't be right to not have the inside painted, would it? Oh, that's a better bit of paint than the last lot. Remember, yes, Gary's ego always needs that like button boost. And subscribe. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, pay some money to my Patreon. Sell my soul to the devil. Oh wait, no, that's what I'm doing, isn't it? $11:57 is the current time. I cut the first bit of this wagon at 10:40. I bit a Cambrian wagon, took my time, and it was still wrong. So, well done, Christopher. So your mistake there was taking your time. $11:58. And I'm calling it. Official stream time, 11:59. This wagon was started at 10:40. and I'm quite happy to call that there. So, yes. But I don't think it would be right to end the stream on this wagon. Well, not just this wagon. Would it? So thank you for coming, everyone. Not good enough for that forum. Thank you for coming, everyone. It has been absolutely wonderful. I have loved every minute of it. You guys have been awesome as always. I have been Gary. This has been Let's Build. Good night. See you next week.